Thank you, thank you. Where do I start? Okay. Now tonight I heard on the news that a particular drug called OxyContin, which is supposed to be is a painkiller and supposed to be non-addictive, but now they found out it's addictive, and the government sued and won the case for $600 million. So you think things are starting to turn around. Now, when I said be an enzyme, listen carefully. When an enzyme brings upon an action, what happens to the enzyme? Be the same. Watch the action, leave it alone. Because, Tom, there are many things that are not understandable at the moment, but everything happens for a reason. So the next thing I'd like to tell you is, listen carefully, Tom, the evil precedes the good. And without the evil, there cannot be any good. This is the law. We cannot change the law. All we can do is learn the law and work with the law. So hence, the good comes from the evil. And this fellow you put up here, sure, he's evil. So he died, so what? His son has it now. I think it's Crystal, his name. So what? He's no better off than his father. You know, you fight for a piece of territory out there. And a tsunami comes around and that's the end of it. And all that blood has been lost for what? Go to a desert. Go to the desert that we have someplace in the West. And look around. And you'll find seashells there. From where did they come? It was inundated. That's where they came from. So there are many things we don't understand. You take it on faith, if you like. I don't take it on faith. I just say I'm not aware, period. And I wait and work to become aware. Now we have a public official, I'm not going to mention his name, who came into office worth $4 billion. 6 years later, still in office, guess what he's worth? You want to give me a guess?
Tom.
Yeah.
I thought you had your hands up.
You want to give me a guess?
Go ahead.
No? Anybody?
Tom said $8 billion.
Not enough. I'll tell you, 20 billion.
Oh my goodness.
Did he come into office to serve you and me? Or did he come into office to maneuver it in somewhat of a legal manner so he can get richer? But when he dies, what goes? Where does his riches go? It's finished. Why do medical or medicine attack chiropractic? The first place, They're not on the same level. That's number one. Medicine is competitive. Medicine belongs to the flesh, and flesh is competitive. And if you don't know what I mean, and not to be facetious, watch a nice guy come along, and there were about 5 pretty women. They're all fighting to get him. Competition. That's the flesh, the heart. That's all. It's very competitive. But the heart collapses, and that's the end of everything. So we don't belong to the heart. Yoga does, because if you don't keep doing yoga, you'll lose out. Playing an instrument is the flesh. And if you don't play for a couple of days, and you go back, if you play a string instrument, you feel how rusty you are. Or you blow the instrument, or you play the drums. It's a question of practice, 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 practice. Otherwise you'll lose it. And the chiropractic that we have been practicing right along has been on the flesh level. You have to practice shoulder drops, bing bang, all these things. But if you don't do that, we'll never get to the next level. And the next level is, Brian?
Spiritual.
Spiritual level. You follow? So we are double. We are innate intelligence and universal intelligence. Universal is the spiritual one, where you do things mentally. Innate, you have to use power or force. If you're working against its force, let's visualize a wheel on a motor, and it's rotating clockwise. Now put another wheel on the other side on a motor also, and it's reversing. That is, it's rotating counterclockwise. Put them together. What have you got? You got a force, friction. And if it were 2 pieces of wood, what would happen to the wood eventually? Now I'm giving you physics you can't find in the book. What would happen to them? Anybody know?
Tom.
It would burn.
It would burn.
That's right. Now you see, the crust of Mother Earth is rotating one way, and the underworld is rotating another way. Now you know this is what's happening. Friction. Now you know what's causing earthquakes. And you know what's causing tsunamis and all the tornadoes we're having. Friction. You don't get that in the books. The weathermen don't know what to say. So what must happen here? Our thoughts must change, not only change, but soon that counteraction is going to stop. And it'll only be action, reaction, action, reaction.